I think for me to take the next step from being consistently top of the ladder to a pro player is just mostly skills that I haven't been able to develop in solo queue. So things like macro play and shot calling. It's mostly, in solo queue, it's very chaotic, and it's mostly about who has the better mechanical skill. And so that's what I'm looking to focus on for this event.
Welcome back to round 2 of Infernal versus Mountain. Certainly has been a clash of titans so far. So we're in 44 minutes, a wild roller coaster, Disneyland-worthy ride that we've just been on.
Yeah, that was one that, it was pretty much the happiest place on earth. I don't know about that that ending, though, because it was really back and forth. Like, that was a game that looked like Mountain was going to be able to take it off of the work that Fraggus was doing, and then it just was Misty Stumpy. A lot of the times, people go like, hey, you can't 1v9 in League of Legends anymore. He actually did a fantastic job alongside having Duo King support him, and then the rest of the team was able to kind of get their act together. That really was a performance where a top laner was able to just hard carry the game.
Yeah, credit to Duo for getting camped and still contributing a lot in the later stages of the game, because certainly can be tough to keep the mental strong at any level. Even on the other side for Mountain, it wasn't just Fraggus. Yes, it's kind of his show in a lot of ways because he is such a impressive player. But I think the whole top side actually had a good job. Fake God in his losing matchup still looked good, and Soligo actually looked good as well on the Vel'Koz.
Yeah, and also don't forget about the play that was made early by Call Lin to get the first kill, where he was aggressive. He got the second kill as well onto the Soraka. It's just the game got a little bit out of hand at the 20-minute mark. That's an objective call for a Baron where you feel like you can finish it, and then everybody gets out, they re-engage because it looked like a good fight. And that's a fight where if the people who had gotten over the wall, if you just stay over the wall and you leave, you're probably in a much better game state because they got aced, all 5 of them. That means they just got some gold that went back to the other team, and then they lost map pressure off that, and there's no Baron to play for anymore when they could have had an objective that could have helped them secure more objectives on the map.
Yeah, we talk a lot about, Baron power plays, how much is it worth, how much value can you get with the buff? Well, you get negative, basically, when you get the Baron and everyone dies, so... Yeah. Not the play they were looking for, and from then Infernal were able to crawl their way back in and then team fight to victory, despite being down an inhibitor at one point. So impressive from both sides. It does feel like we'll be going to a third game, but that will require Mountain to come back with similar strength and close out the game a bit more efficiently.
And it's been interesting because Mountain started off the scouting grounds 4-0. It's just the last day of scouting grounds, they had an 0-2 day in terms of their matches. They went 3 games against Infernal, and Mountain, it's been like, ever since yesterday, a little bit of a rough stretch for them. Last little stretch here where they lost to Cloud, they lost to Infernal, and now they're in danger of just losing their last 3 matches in a row after having a 4-0 start, which is usually indicative of you have really good individual players, but as people start getting more and more on the same page on other teams, you guys just haven't, like, I would say, gotten to the level where everybody is working together to end the game, even when you get advantages to start.
And again, it's cool to see what changes there'll be, because there are still 6 coaches on stage. They're still getting talked to between themselves with their coaches that are kind of helping them through this event. Making these kind of changes and adapting when your coach tells you to do something different is a skill that is necessary at the highest levels of play. So again, kind of a mini LCS setting. We'll see what happens here in the draft as these players continue to play on. Nocturne, Lucian, Akali, our first 3 bans, with Mountain lining up their second ban.
Aurelia was the ban that Infernal had thrown on top of it. The Victor, of course, is going to come up here because they had banned the Akali, Tristana, and LeBlanc, and I don't know how much of Tristana would be huge here, let alone even a LeBlanc potentially on top of it. Knowing Strompus champion pool as well, LeBlanc is a great champion at the moment, but I still feel like Soligo is capable of playing that champion himself.
There's Alistar banned away.
Instead of the Aurelia.
Yeah, been a very popular support. We'll have to see if Mountain maybe think about banning the Aurelia here, or if they'll just leave it open and kind of see what happens here in the draft. Also, Aatrox, Urgot have shown a lot of presence in this tournament as well.
Just the flexibility of Aatrox, Urgot, Victor. Having mid and top flex means that blue side, if you can get both of them, like, what is red side going to do? Even when they get their last pick locked in, you still have the ability to figure out which one is a better matchup and which one you want to win by swapping them around. And there's the Aurelia.
Yep, I think that's the best of the champions kind of left that we talked about. Yep. At least the most powerful, let's say.
Yep, and that's something that Strompus, people are saying he can play a wide variety of champions, and that may even be for Misty Stumpy, to be completely honest. Another flex pickable between the solo lanes.
Well, we'll see what happens here on the other side. I imagine Jinja is now locked in, and one of Aatrox or Urgot will be selected here by Mountain.
I actually don't know. I think it potentially is Rakan or Thresh.
All right, good call. There is Rakan.
Yeah, and this encourages you to pick up Xayah here. It's just because there's 2 support bans, and you kind of want the one that you really favor.
Yep.
So Duo, and the thing is Duo King playing Thresh, a little bit out of his wheelhouse a bit, but the Rakan is one that he will default to. So taking that away also enables you to go for something like a Xayah, puts pressure on Infernal to maybe pick Xayah here as well. And if they don't, then you potentially just go for the bans and ban out more of Duo King and go for Soraka, throw in, I don't even know, maybe even throw like Morgana ban on top of it.
Well, there's Gragas actually locked in there. Could be for support, but is most likely for jungle.
Yeah. Is this going to be like a Rise or... Yep, there's the Morg.
Yep. Good prediction there. It's going to be Morgana locked in there for Infernal. So we may see something that we started to see more in the latter half of World, which was Aatrox and Urgot falling away. I mean, Aurelia does warp drafts in a pretty big way, given how powerful she is. So not too surprised to see the teams changing it up. But that does give Xayah over to Mountain, which Prismal should be more than happy to take alongside the Rakan.
Yeah, take the Xayah. You can take some bans in your top lane and in your bottom lane, but you'll be able to pick up a neutral champion, even if it's like an Aatrox or an Urgot here for Mountain. I feel like that might put Infernal in a position where they have to ban both of them or one of them. They might ban neither of them and then just take the other one themselves, but feels a little strange here, and it definitely doesn't give you a sense of ease on either side at the moment.
Well, there's the Triss ban from Mountain, and that's a Jax ban from Infernal, so kind of continuing to target ban on both sides here.
Making sure that Fake God doesn't get that champion that he's played so much. People started to experience it in the beginning of the tournament. I looked at a whole bunch of the VODs, and it's like, oh, he's playing Jax. He's bopping people. And then I saw some other people play Jax, and they're like, we're not as good at this. It's not a meta champion. It's just him. And then the Jax bans start to come through then when you can't exactly match it.
And Kai'Sa also banned away, so Pack's going to be pushed down a few pegs as far as the champions go. Also a Fiora ban, with Fake God going to eat 2 different bans there in the top lane.
And Aatrox, Urgot, both up. I expect one of them to go over here, potentially the Urgot, because I think it's a better champion to put in the mid lane than the Aatrox into almost any matchup. So you'll be good to go in the flexibility department here. Ashe will make it very hard for Fragis to find the right ganks.
And looks like it may very well be Ashe here. We'll see what Infernal do want to take.
Ashe,
7 seconds left.
Ashe, maybe even Sivir potentially, but the Ashe, yep, gonna help your jungler a lot. It's always a very difficult kind of thing to navigate when the hawk shots come through. What are you supposed to do about it when it's flying over and just spots you out and gives the team information?
As expected, some Sona Soraka obviously here for Duo King, but we'll see what the last selection actually is for Infernal in about 5 seconds time.
It's the flexibility of the Aatrox to go top or mid. It's because they have Gragas, they have some magic damage in the composition, so going full physical is actually not a death sentence for this team.
See what the last pick is here for Mountain, though. I imagine it's some sort of carry here for Fake God, unless he just wants to maybe neutralize the matchup more with the Urgot. But as you mentioned, maybe Urgot's a little easier to play mid, but with Syndra being hovered, maybe not.
I think the Urgot's actually fine into both of these, so just picking a different mid lane is good here, because if you're going to pick something top, it's hard to get magic damage into this composition because you have a physical damage jungler, whereas Infernal, they do have that magic damage jungler themselves. So I actually think this is fine. I actually look back and go, that was a very good ban from Infernal to ban Fiora, because if they thought that they were going to get Aurelia Aatrox, like playing Fiora into either of those champions feels really nice, and it means that you have true damage instead of a full physical damage composition.
Yep. And don't really want to give Fake God any more power than he's otherwise getting in this draft. So we'll take Urgot Aatrox, which is a classic from the start of Worlds.
Got to be worried, though, a little bit here for Soligo up against Strumpus. Strumpus, though, not really 100% known for that Aurelia play. That's more Soligo's category. But the Aurelia versus the Syndra is a matchup. This is one of those big skill matchups. The LeBlanc, people found out, hey, it's actually more sided for the Syndra. Well, here, Syndra has push early, but you can't push the Aurelia in too far, or else you're just going to get ganked by this Gragas that can body slam flash you.
And as always, junglers going to be ones to watch for in the early game, especially in the mid jungle 2v2. So I feel like if either mid laner gets some sort of advantage here, it's very easy to translate that somewhere else. And of course, we know how strong the top laners are, so
yeah, this feels like
decent chance the junglers will go top as well.
This feels like a jungle mid-game off of especially Fragis potentially going towards Soligo's lane, because you're going to have the shove with Syndra, and you want to go bottom towards Prismal and Call in. This may be another one where Fake God kind of has to just play the role where he just makes sure that Misty Stumpy doesn't take over the game here, try to press him down. And when I look at this, draft-wise, I actually really like what Mountain has early game. Winning top lane, winning mid lane, winning bot lane. I don't feel like you can get it much better than that. Now, there is up for some debate with this bottom lane. I still feel like Xayah Rakan is stronger than the Ashe Morgana, but Ashe and Morgana both being range champions, they can potentially shove you in. But I just think the extra damage to minions that comes through the pass-through of feathers just makes it so Xayah will shove matchups even if she doesn't win them.
And again, when you have a good, strong, aggressive jungler, you need to enable them as best you can.
Yep.
So having pushing lanes is always nice.
And that means you have options as Fragis. You can just go wherever you want. Top lane is going to be shoving in for you. Mid lane is going to be shoving in for you. Bottom lane will be shoving in too. So if you do want to invade and go after Sir Kenji, I think you can do that from almost any angle here.
Very minor invade here, mostly just again to push them out of the way and make sure they have vision.
Yeah, push them out and also do it as two people, because if they place a ward down as they're retreating to just kind of take over that area anyway, you'll just be able to kill it very quickly.
Urgot's also a good solo ward killer as well, which is something that
True.
I always forget.
Yeah, the purge.
But looks like just a bit of deeper vision now for Mountain, and nothing too crazy kicking things off.
Misty Stumpy looks like he's sitting around ready to place a ward. So, yep. Goes and places it so that he can see the scuttle.
Well, as we watch this, the junglers will throw it down to Overly once again, who is standing by with Invert.
Thanks, Pastry. I am here with Invert, one of the coaches for Team Infernal. The team pulled off a pretty incredible comeback win. Had that game have taken place earlier in the week, would they have had the same result?
I think the game would have been over a lot quicker and we would have lost. One of the things we worked on this week that we kind of drilled into the players' minds was patience and making sure not to over-aggress and not to over-commit to certain objectives. Just take the small victories and kind of snowball with that. So you noticed that we kind of just backed off every time we got what we could and then left, and you saw the other team kind of not have that patience and us exploit that as a result. You know, there's a lot of bad macro, honestly. I think some stage jitters, but yeah, that patience really helped pull that victory off, and hopefully this one too. So
Hopefully patience helps pull off the series. Good luck with the rest of your game. That's it for us here. Back to the casters.
Thank you very much. Overly, always nice to hear from Invert. Very well-spoken and well-dressed gentleman. As Fragis has taken both scuttles, Irene is furious as a jungler.
Both scuttles, but I mean, how are you supposed to get a scuttle crab when your lanes are getting shoved in? It's actually the right thing from Sir Kenji to not even go for one or look at it. He goes for a level 3 clear, which is his red Raptors Krugs back, get boots for Predator, and then go to topside. It's a kind of a Predator route, or you can do it on like Rek'Sai and then go bot. But Sir Kenji's just going for that clear here.
Yeah, does have his boots as well, so let's see them be put to good use here for potential gank. A lot of trading here as well. FLICKR trying to push this wave in towards Stumpy. That corrupting potion ticking over. It does give him a little bit of extra juice in the trade. Wave still not there just yet. Needs to clear these out, but ooh, actually that might freeze. Not quite in time to shove that wave.
Yeah. We'll have a... Oh, nice stun.
Is at it again. Fragis to the mid lane.
Ah.
Good patience there from Strumpus.
Yeah, also Fragis though too, because he went for the W instead of just walking up to E, because Strumpus would have just hit the other part of the E and went for the stun there. And if he was under turret and had to commit that much, it would have been really rough. And here's Sir Kenji with the Predator.
And Predator invades. Takes the big Raptor. He's like, yeah, I lost it last time, not again.
Oh, here comes the Urgot though. This is a bad position for Infernal.
Stun on. There's the flash forward from Fragis. Pops in with the slow. Now Sir Kenji with no flash. He's left for dead here. Who's going to grab the kill? spoils go to Syndra. Soligo grabs it.
Yeah, don't know if the flash was needed there from Fake God. Maybe a bit of an overcommittal of resources to try and just make sure he can't get away. But Sirkenji looked like he was going to be dead to rights. No flash. I think his body slam was down from earlier. Well, they do get that kill, though, onto the jungler. And we talked about it, like, I don't feel like there's really anywhere you can go on this map as Gragas being that aggressive past the river. I know he had help from Stompus, but like I said, you're always going to have reinforcements on the other side faster.
Good feathers once again, but Prisma taking a little too much damage. Tactical. No flash to follow, so Prisma will live as he chugs the potion.
A little bit of that is item difference. It's just that small having the cull, a little bit extra damage, a little bit of an extra heal per attack that makes the difference because of the earlier recall. And right here, yeah, like the lane priority is so important as a jungler. When there's 3 shoving lanes, you set up in this position, but watch this stun from Soligo. He gets the push on Stompus, but he gets the stun onto Sirkenji, who doesn't have that flash anymore. Gragas is in front of him. Maybe he wants to go for like a flash over the wall, or sorry, a body slam over the wall, but feels like maybe Fake out overcommitted resources there, and that's going to make it so that the matchup for him against the Aatrox is going to be a little rougher with the flash disadvantage.
Right now looking good though, as he gets his gold and a small CS lead here.
Yeah, unfortunately the assist ends up being only worth 100 instead of 150 because First Blood split 2 ways on the assist. So you hope for more, but still going to have a good time in this matchup because it is a Urgot favored matchup. Especially when you can pull the Aatrox back in while he's ulting. You just finish him off, pull him into your team. Even though he revives, he's just way too close to everybody. No, it's a matchup that people like when Urgot started coming back out into popularity. Also the fact that he does percent HP. Like, people don't think about this, but he does Urgot's shotgun knees do percent HP that scale with his level. So the higher level he is, the more he's going to be doing. And when he uses W, it doesn't reduce the damage of that part of his attacks. So if he just walks on you and like walks around you, well, what you buy on Aatrox is mostly HP, Black Cleaver, Sterix. You don't buy a lot of armor. So you're taking the full value of his shotgun knees at almost all points in the game.
You also see that some early pressure is leading to a nice little advantage here for Soligo as well. Does have the sorcerers already finished. Trumpus just with the kind of starting items, so Gragas continue to play up and aggressive. Flash Vanguard's there, trying to get out of there. Stun is going to land. Nullifying Orb, not quite enough to protect him. Maybe he's the Ignite, though. He's going to tick him down.
Woo!
He does live, though. Clutch.
No.
Yep, slows him down. Kenji's still looking, went the wrong way, unfortunately for him, and Gragas will live.
It's because the red is up. He wants to go for the red, but okay. Yeah, he has to get out because top lane is coming for him.
Might still be in trouble here. No flash once more. Uses the body slam. Fake God in there. Lands the slow. Oh! Beautiful from the Syndra. And now Fake God's going to pump it out here. There's the ulti. Gets him down. And Fake God finds the execute.
Hand in the cookie jar. 100% there. Man, he went for the invade. Xin Zhao's not going to go straight for the red at that point. He's got to back off. He doesn't have the HP for it. And he's looking at it, and he just gets collapsed on. And like I said at the start, the lane priority matters so much. You can go anywhere you want as this Xin Zhao, and you're probably going to be okay. The Gragas, on the other hand, you don't have priority, especially on your top half of the map. As these champions just win the matchup and shove harder than the other champion in the lane.
I mean, you can see Stumpy getting some CS, but he's falling behind. Same story again for Strumpus. Not super far behind, but not pushing.
Yep.
And not winning in CS either. So the kind of top side control that Mountain already had in the last game, amplified even more given the strength of their lanes.
Yeah, and this is one where Misty Stumpy's not going to have as much influence over the game because 1-0-1 on that Urgot early, who has that spell book, which gives him better lane presence for things like Ignite, Exhaust. But, he was just trying to shove the wave in, man.
Does flash. Oh, I think he barely got slow. The arrow is going to miss as he sidesteps it, but the flash ult from Duo King will make sure Rakan goes down. Zaya recalled without him, and Colin pays the price.
Getting a divorce. But I had to use 2 ultimates and a flash for that. He uses his own, but this means that when the ultimate comes in for Call Lin, he might be able to actually just get counter kills straight up, especially on somebody like Duo King without his flash up. So this may mean that Sirkenji has to stay down here for longer. They have to commit resources.
Trying to get something done here with the Ashe. Actually, Tara is pretty low. on the mountain side as Fraggus again finds Kenji with Black Shield on. Ulti pop there for the Xin Zhao. Soligo flashes forward. They find Duo. That's a great stun there from the Syndra as Fraggus is able to collect the kill.
Yeah, not having flash will do that to you. He walks too far forward. That was also Misty Stumpy dedicating the teleport to it, and he finished his TP, and now he's backing. So he's lost the top lane pressure on top of this. They're losing the bot lane pressure. He's gonna have to get something here.
It's him gonna dance around. Good juke there. The stun also gonna miss. Chainsaw Lash, but here's the rest of the squad. Misty Stumpy plus the blast. Now Strumpus is the one they're going for. Vanguard's edge popped up, but he grabs the knock up there from the Battle Dance, and Strumpus is dead.
That was sick! Fraggus goes in with the E, immediately is already casting the W towards the other target and just gets him with the tip, and that's what slows Strumpus enough. And that's something that people don't always consider, is that the Xin Zhao W, a lot of it is that slow on the second part that makes it so frustrating to play against, because he can just chase you down. He has that little extra reach on it.
Smite fight with no smite on either side here.
Or he just bops him.
Maybe a little too far forward. He dodges the ulti, but the Drake's still gonna finish him off. That was a little too much, and he knows it.
Yep, just bops him there. His bottom lane didn't have priority. They're defending their turret because this thing is almost dead, so they have to kind of play back. And nobody there to assist him. That's that Cloud Drake going over now to Infernal, and that kill also going over to the Gragas, which gets him back in. This right here from Soligo, good to start it off. Some dodges. He's basically hugging him, and Misty Stumpy can't land a sweet spot. Soligo gets out. And then that was so clean there, because it shows 100%. He's not aiming for Misty Stumpy at all. He would have gone for a W right on him for that slow, but already kind of predicted the fact that he would go for a flash over the wall. She says it's not worth it at all.
Certainly knows his way around the champion, that's for sure. As first turret does go over to Infernal. They're actually not even ahead in gold despite all that. Because of the CS in their winning lanes. And looks like a trade is incoming. See if Stumpy can defend here. Does have Strumpus coming up as well.
Yeah, and this is, they're trying to pick on Misty Stumpy while his TP, Flash, and Ultimate are all down right now. There's a completed item for Fake God, so ahead of the curve, has also those free boots in the Inspiration Tree, so he's doing well in that department. And now we're going to have to look at Soligo and how he's doing against Strumpus, because they picked this Syndra into the Urgot slash, the Aatrox slash Aurelia. Instead, he's fine playing it into either one. And this is a scary matchup if the Aurelia starts getting ahead, because then she just starts blasting you and jumping around everywhere. So the fact that he's ahead of the curve, has his penetration item, and he's able to run around. I like the boot purchase a lot too, because it helps you dodge Aurelia's stun, helps you get away from her if she gets on top of you. And we even saw it come into effect earlier, where he was just dodging the Aatrox Qs.
Oh, joking again. Spell shield's good. Coleman can't break it, so that ultimate actually didn't do anything from Rakan. Perhaps a bit more patience would have been Providence. Oh, bite, they're going to break back out, so Kenji. Oh, into the arrow! What a bait! With a stopwatch, but here's again. Fake God's going to come in and try and make a mess of the situation. Fear Beyond Death finds two for the Fear. Misty Stumpy, though, in ulti form. He's going to be A-OK. The shutdown landed there from Kenji. A good bind there as Tactical's able to take out Prismal.
Yep, okay. That was, this Rift Herald's getting a lot of action today. You know, the first team fight of almost every game is breaking out around the Rift Herald. And this is one where it goes the way of Infernal. They even up the score there. They take the gold lead, and they get the Rift Herald to boot.
And it's starting to feel like, again, kind of just what we heard Invert talking about. Infernal willing to be a bit more patient. That's what's been drilled into them by their coaches all week long. Mountain, the individual skill is there, but they are just stepping one or two steps too far in a lot of these situations, although this mid lane push is pretty nice. Lynn's going to just ignore the chain. Stumpy can't really do very much. Oh, good double knockup. I take it back. Actually, it's enough to protect the turret. Oh, Vanguard's dead again. Also going to pop, but good dash back there from Colin. Doesn't matter. Strumpus able to take him out.
Oh, doesn't matter at all, and that's Strumpus going to be able to get that kill, and that's going to give him a lot of what he needs to start scaling in this game. But defending this turret will be rough. We'll see this one more time, though. Body slam, and then not sure about the Zhonya's there. That's fine, though. Strumpus able to get away from Fake God, still gets stunned in the back and finished off. But then watch this left side of the fight. Prismal ultis here when there was nothing flying at him, flashes in a line, gets rooted by Duo King, and then Tactical is just able to just flash after him and finish him. And so that left side of the fight just went really awry. And now, oh, the heal.
Yep, good shields there. That's a shutdown. Good kill there for Prismal, who needed that gold. And now Stromper's probably going to fall as well. Soligo able to take him out.
And that was huge. 2 kills, the mid and the jungle going down there. They keep Frackus alive with that flash and getting away, and the heal was just barely enough from Prismal to make it so that he was able to hold on.
It's a very spicy one, Cyrene.
I know, this is a game where we're hitting that 1 kill per minute mark. We're very close.
Alright, and mid does fall, so Mountain finally equalized objectives on that front. Do a King again with a black shield, but
Soligo's gonna get him.
not taking off the damage. Oh, good collapse. Easy kill there for the Syndra. 3-0 and 4 now. Only missed 1 kill, already level 11 with Sork Shoes, 7 stacks on the Dark Seal and a Luden's Echo. It's a very powerful mage. Good dodge there for Frackus over onto the Grump.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the grouch for a second. I don't think Colin needed a flash there. Don't think he needed a flash at all. So overcommitting resources can be just as bad as not committing them, because you can get punished for it right afterwards. You have to find those situations where you absolutely have to commit it. It looked like he didn't even realize that Soligo was about to blow him up. And even if he didn't, Soligo would have been able to just point and click on him and kill him with R afterwards. But
Yeah, again, we talk about communication. One of those things that teams have had a lot longer to play together, maybe innately get a bit more. These are all things that teams look at that you need to practice, need to be thinking about.
yeah, and this is a game where Soligo now with those kills only missed out on 1 in terms of kill participation. I feel like he's poised to take over this game on this Syndra. This last pick that they had come through, they didn't care about the flex picks, but it's also the thing that's going to throw off resistances on the enemy team because it's not a full physical composition. And it's also going to be putting him in the spotlight here. 7 stacks on his Dark Seal, the 2 penetration items, and the Luden's completed. He's ready to blow up pretty much everybody on the enemy team.
Yep. He had a very strong Vocalist game last time around, but was more of a supporting actor in that one. Certainly center stage this time around. His arrow is not going to hit, but just barely misses Fragger. Oh, someone hit. Ah, I thought someone was going to eat it. Trumpus, though, looking low. Trying to siege up that turret, but 3v2 right now in the mid lane, but no way to chase. Shelly finishes off his top outer turret, flash off from Duo King, good black shield, but if you have enough health to complete this play, Stromper's gonna dive in, but he just dives straight up to the Syndra, who is somehow gonna live despite the ignite. Stumpy, though, able to kill Prismal, now diving in onto Frackus, who gets pulled back and killed, for Aatrox to collect the double kill.
And there's just no way for Fake God to get there in time. Oh, wait.
Got ulti, can he find the snipe? Doesn't look like it, but he will get them off the turret at least.
Yeah, just barely. Didn't go for trying to hit that last bit of the range there. This might be them backing. Fake God's going to get priority in mid. He just waltzed his way on down bottom.
I respect what Duo King recalled.
Yeah.
He's all the way back there. He's like, yeah, no, I've seen this already.
Yep.
I don't want to be part of that highlight.
Oh, good black shield there. Means he doesn't get knocked back or stunned. He still gets the stun off. And he gets the root onto Soligo, which almost kills him, but then they get the counter kill there. Colin also gets out. It looks like he was going to try to re-engage or at least maybe go for a stun over the wall. But now we're at a point where Misty Stumpy, he got a lot of that fight because of his priority that he probably wasn't supposed to have, but it was something from the previous setup of the lane.
3v3 brewing, knockup does land. Kendrick here to defend. Actually, maybe he's the better target. Stumpy again going back in will force a flash from Prismal.
Sometimes being aggressive in a situation where you were on the back foot is perfect for him because recognizing the AD carry had walked up like 1 step or 2 steps too far forward because he was being aggressive. That just means he really has to back off here. And Misty Stumpy's gone for a different build this game because it was the Youmu's we were seeing from before. Immediate black cleaver here. So we're looking for a little bit more early CDR. Of course, you do get Kindle Gem and Youmu's most of the time. This means that he's going to have a lot of ability to shred, and on a full physical composition minus the Gragas, the Black Cleaver coming in as soon as possible is exactly what he needs.
Well, despite all that pressure, first onto the objective are Mountains. They will take down this Cloud Drake. Stumpy even fancied a steal because he had 2 dashes charged up, so gets back safely over the wall. Duo King, the target for Fake God, but already used the ulti and not in execute range, so it's going to be okay. Ulti there onto Stumpy, who's again going to dash out of the way. Stun not in time to connect from the Syndra.
Yeah, a little bit desynced there again from Colin and the rest of the team.
Feels like Mountain are just pushing themselves a little too far to try and get some of these kills.
Yeah, like Invert was saying, patience is very key, especially in a team environment. But they already have those 2 outer turrets down. They just need that last one in the bottom side. And Infernal need to get that last one in the middle. And that middle one is more important. Way more important for being able to move to other parts of the map. So if Misty Stumpy can actually set himself up here, he doesn't have wards or anything like that to place. If he can place some wards and have more of a, I guess, an arena to kind of work with on the side, it can be good, but I don't even know how much he wins this matchup. Fake God has Exhaust, has 2 armor items now with the Righteous Glory. Feels like it's going to be tough times for Misty Stumpy, who's down 50 CS.
I feel like our early learnings of this matchup were very cool, and then we realized that Urgot kind of neutralized every matchup, and it got significantly less exciting. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it does feel like that is one of the strengths of Urgot as a champion. He just kind of eventually gets to the point where it's like, I'm not winning, but neither are you. Let's just push the waves and see what happens.
He becomes so hard to kill later.
Yeah.
Scott, once he starts getting his W on a really low cooldown. Hold on, Fraggus.
Dares to go in on Strumpus. He does have Trinity Force now, by the way. Was lagging behind that item timing for a while, but has now finished it as Fake God trying to chase down the jungler. Does land the slow, but that's all she wrote for that play.
And now it's roaming around, running around, trying to make sure that you don't get caught out in rotation. And Fake God looking for Duo King to try and do exactly that.
Shields
But he's
back in.
okay.
Binding, yep, buffers out with the disdain. So he does move himself out of the way. You can see every time the Syndra leaves the mid lane, though, a lot easier for Infernal to try and take down the turret. And Strumpus is getting work done here in the side lane.
Yeah, that solo experience is very big. That's why top laners usually hit level 18 before mid laners on average. Oh,
Actually hit the Rakan, but he will dash back away. Now Infernal looking for the rest of the fight. A good flash knockup. That's going to be a kill for Tactical. There's now Fraggus forced to move away, but he gets body slammed. Doesn't quite have enough to live under the turret. And now actually another route onto Fake God. He's going to try and save the fight, but he just can't do anything. He's tanky. He's really tanky. And Strumpus will actually force Stumpy. Also barely lives as the last turret shot comes out.
ends up being a 3-for-1. Definitely not a good trade there for Mountain. Infernal coming up huge there, and that's going to get them back into the game in terms of even, and the kills going in the right places for them too. None of them landing onto Sir Kenji or the support. They're ending up now going over to Tactical, going over to Misty Stumpy, and even Strumpus, which I think is probably one of the most important people to have them on, because he's been having a bad early game here. This arrow, the dodge, but then the hit there, and Call In decides to go in instead of over the wall and try to get out. Gets immediately blown up, and Tactical has the black shield, so Fraggus can't even disengage people there. Fake got a little late to the party again. Throws the exhaust down, not able to get anybody low enough for the ultimate. And then Strumpus is the one who ends up dying. And then E is just not able to connect there from Soligo. But Infernal do a great job of pulling the trigger. They have so much engaged, so much pick with this bottom lane with the Ashe and the Morgana. If you're hit by one of the CCs, you're going to get hit by the other. And the Morgana Black Shield that Duo King has been throwing out has been on the right person at the right moment.
Still though, the good news for Mountain is that the low health bars at the back end of that fight meant they actually hold onto their outer turret for a little while longer. Fake God currently split pushing towards the bot outer turret, so Stumpy will rotate down to match him there. Teleports are up for both as well, so I'm expecting this dance to last quite a bit longer, given that both teams want to try and protect their turrets for as long as they can.
And Sir Kenji's doing a great job here. After the early parts of the game, okay.
Missing that one means that he's pretty much dead to rights. He does have his Zhonya's, but not going to matter as the support does collect the kill.
Cast a curse. Immediately, I'm sorry, sir.
That was one of the most savage curses
I'm sorry.
ever inflicted.
I said he was doing well. And then immediately dies right there. And misses the body slam too, but that's one where I felt like he had been doing well recovering from the early mistakes he had made of going towards areas that were around lanes that he didn't have priority in. And then once again, he does exactly the same thing. So it's 4 deaths, and I believe 3 of them are from pretty much the same mistake.
Blue buff steal also complete. Syndra picks it up and throws it down. Stumpy, again, trying to keep up the CS. Fakko has a pretty massive CS lead, actually, but all this distraction is for a Baron.
And that's going to be a Baron for sure, in my opinion. They've reset. The only person who has TP is Misty Stumpy. Nobody's even in that area to check it. And this is because they got the kill on Sir Kenji, and they have all these control wards. Nobody wanted to face check that. See, though, Serkenji, oh my god, he's gonna have to get in there right now.
Predating around, he booked it down, but he actually just helps him out a little bit more as the smite goes down Mountain, though. Can they get away from the Baron this time? Colin is gonna get hit by the Ash Arrow, so that's gonna be 1 kill onto Syndra, 1 kill onto Rakan. And Kenji might even cut one more off. Cleanse off there for Fake God. Now gonna go in onto Serkenji, has the ulti, but again with a team behind him, no need to pressure any further.
And right there, it's the difference between this game and last game, where Mountain, they go for the Baron very early on, 21 minutes, 23 minutes, and then this time, they don't all die, just 2 of them. Soligo was a big kind of bounty, though. He was 5 kills to his name. First death there, and that's gonna go over to, I believe, Misty Stumpy, who gets 750 gold there. But on top of that, this Mountain Drake will go over to Infernal, and it just ends up with, they have to make something happen on Mountain's side with the Baron that they got.
Yep.
Otherwise, it's not worth it to give over that much gold for that shutdown.
Tough for Gragas to get in, but doesn't at least try
Call
to
in.
kill it.
Call-in was like, I maybe want to help him, I maybe don't want to help him, and you didn't want to help him.
Yep.
The final answer.
You can see he's still down 800 gold or so on the Baron power play, so we'll see if they can recover some of that, because very similar situation. Gold lead is much closer this time around. And Mount, as you mentioned, to get the Baron, great double stun there from Strumpus. Well, actually pop the ulti, so that's an even bigger win as far as cooldowns go.
I definitely think Call-in looks like he's having... Oh, hold on.
Oh, actually a fight starting off again. Really good pragmatic start off here by Infernal. Stumpy again, now going to go into ult form, but Fake got a little late to this rotation. Strumpus though getting low. Prismal trying to get aggressive, pops the Feather Stone, but the stasis is really nice. A double kill though for the Syndra. Syndra does fall on the other side as Prismal's starting to rip through the rest of them, but he falls, and now it's just King left alive. Only 1 kill left to claim for the ace here for Mountain. And there's the flash forward. He looks for the big play. Doesn't quite connect it. Good late Black Shield. We'll get it as Tactical actually gets a late shutdown onto the Syndra. And again, almost all the Barons are dead.
Yep, almost. Fake God has it now. This has just been all over the place. I mean, it's a situation where I'm looking at this going, Call-in looks like he has some of those stage jitters. I know he has very, very little experience. No one kind of knows, like, you take what people know about Fake God and his like competitive experience, and you just multiply that. And we saw it earlier where now he doesn't have ulti for this. Soligo's gonna flash over the wall, gets a huge amount of burst there because he's just so far ahead, able to just put the Aatrox inside of the ultimate as well, and the revive. And then right here, kind of miss time doesn't matter too much, but then Tactical with the flash forward, the 2 kills, and then because he had the Runaan's Hurricane, he did a little bit of damage to Soligo, who then walks up as he drops turret aggro. In case you needed him, he was there.
Didn't need him. Ooh.
Aha.
That's QSS.
Might as well. So if you're getting hit by arrows, might as well soak them.
Yeah, I'm taking enough of them here. Oh, so
Backline.
in the back line. Lin tries to dive in, but he can't quite connect it. Strumpus now with a big wraparound flank. Pumps the Vanguard dead, finds 2, kills the Syndra. Stumpy and Fracas fighting it out in their fracas, but again, Fake God might be able to turn the fight back around. Fracas does get the last minute snipe. And the Tactical, he's going to die as well. Popped his watch, but only to be shut down by the Urgot.
A lot of fighting this game, Pastry Time. And now we've definitely exceeded the 1 kill per minute mark here. And honestly, right now, it's just back and forth. The 3,000 gold lead for Mountain is going to start manifesting more and more. And I think a lot of that is going to be just the defenses of the junglers here. Like, Fracas is going in and doing a lot of work on the backline for a bit. And then Serkenji has to kind of go in very quickly, throw down when he can, and try to survive. That's why the Zonius is going to make him tankier, is because once he's kind of thrown all his abilities, he can then stay longer in the fight, wait for some cooldowns. And I think that's a Gargoyle Stoneplate that he's going to potentially make. Interesting. Okay.
Gotta be tankier. What better way to be tankier on one item?
True. But he doesn't have a lot of health.
That is also true.
On top of that. And it increases your health by 40%.
Also true.
Reduce the damage by 60%. So, well, I guess it would increase your health by 100%. Yeah, it still is durability.
Anyway, this time around it does feel like Infernal kind of baited themselves in for once.
But yes, because Soligo gets flanked by Strumpus here, and he ultis Strumpus while Strumpus hits W. So he doesn't get instantly annihilated, but then Fake God able to kill Strumpus with the ultimate. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, onto Stumpy, gonna pop the ulti, didn't have it. just a few seconds away, and that's another clean kill for Fake God.
Yep, another kill goes over to him. 6-2-4, getting his revenge for last game. He has Flame Horizon Misty Stumpy, saying, you carried the last game. It's my turn to do some carry work on this one.
Also has a good teammate there in Soligo again. Fragget's got the early game rolling, but these two solo laners from Mountain have really done a ton of heavy lifting in this mid game. Mountain will see if they can be a little bit more patient. Strompus getting stunned, but they'll just start juking there and force a flash. Really nice feint there from Lin to get that summoner spell out. This inhibitor will fall down. I'll walk away. They'll get a stun. They'll get some damage down. But Mountain, again, going to try and play this one out a little bit more slowly.
Yeah, and Soligo's just running around. An absolutely massive Syndra. It's funny because when kills start going left and right, hold on. Whoa, 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 you don't want to fight.
Yeah, Lin again eats another eats a binding this time, and then QSS is out. And Mountain say, okay, we got to get out of here as a team.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what Infernal were doing there. I was like, maybe they could catch. I was like, you really don't want to fight this if you guys look at the map. But 50 seconds on the Baron, 40 on that Cloud Drake. Baron is definitely way more important than what people are going to be setting up for here. But what I was getting to is, as the game progresses and people just start throwing out kills, you're just naturally increasing the amount of gold that's in the game. So people will hit item spikes faster and faster. And when you're a poor little AD carry, none of your items actually give you durability. So you're running around at the same amount as if you weren't fed or there wasn't like this extra thousands of gold in the game. But there's this Syndra that can now just destroy you, actually overkill you potentially. So your durability doesn't increase, your damage does, which can help you, but hers does as well simultaneously. So it just becomes this game where whoever can get that first little pop on people and make use of that gold, it becomes massive.
How just aggressive Fake God is willing to be here. He's basically 1v3 tanking up the front line as Misty tries to find the flank, but Sir Kenji's already dead. Fake God now going to pop his own stone plate, zip his way out of there with a disdain.
Yep, and that was Sir Kenji off on the side. He went for a body slam over the wall. Fraggus was right on top of him. Because of the phase rush, you can keep up with people very easily as Xin Zhao. And the Gragas, there's no way he was going to make it over that wall with that Xin Zhao right in front of him. So ends up dropping and Call in off on the side, looking for a classic Rakan flank position. Duo King's looking for him. Oh, fast fingers.
Very fast. Good black shield there. Gragas also a little low, so this Baron's kind of tough to stay tanking.
They're going to go top turret instead. Go for the tier 2. But they're going to trade, what, mid?
Race on, race off. All right, immediately Infernal pull away. Not going to win. Look how big that wave is.
It's a massive wave. And now that people have pulled back and haven't shoved mid, you could potentially even look at the Baron if you'd like, or at least clean that area out because they didn't go for it.
Definitely want to clean the vision out and maybe try and pick someone off if they get desperate and try and face check. There are no blue trinkets up right now on Infernal, so if they're worried about it, they may have to check with their faces.
They have the Hawk Shot, which will always help them out, and that's why the Ash.
Like a blue trinket.
That's why the Ash has the red trinket. I actually like that. Ashes that go for Hawk Shot and then have the red trinket on top of it, just kind of it's about the same amount of vision. It means you just have the ability that's blue trinket sort of, and so you can just help in terms of removing vision and making more dark areas on the map.
Instead, just a reset for Mountain. They'll run back towards the Baron now. Cloud Drake is up and available, but kind of the smaller prize between the two. Duo King, another black shield, but Fake God continuing to just move around, hunt people down. Cry's Bloom pop there from Fraggus. Doesn't quite see that ward, but don't need it to shut down the Baron vision. Full control of the river right now. And they will start the Baron. Mountain being a lot more methodical about how they approach this, it feels like.
I mean, it's how they lost the game last time. It's how they gave an opening to Infernal again.
Infernal checks so
Sir
late.
Kenji
here.
comes up here.
I think he's going to finish it off. Good call. Smart enough to know they have the burst. Now they'll turn, look for the fight. They'll get the black shield and the flash out of Kenji. The tactical is going to finish off the turret at least. Now they have to get out of there alive. Soligo actually joins the wave instead, so a brief 4v5 here. Strompus getting zoned out.
It's 4v4 because there's Misty Stumpy bot.
Oh, still there.
Yeah, that's why they didn't go for that. That's why they didn't try for it, because there's a bottom inhibitor down and he's been having to clear super minions as a physical damage champion, which is never fun. because they have lots of armor, negative MR.
Well, instead they'll just push in here and try and take the inhibitor turret down. Looks like Prismal's top side as well for Mountain, so they'll get that wave guided towards the next turret available. Makes sense again, given that Troop Minions are still tying Stumpy up in the bot lane. Mountain's transition over, and Prismal started to auto-attack this. Turret's gonna fall pretty quickly. Ooh, a good three-man knockup there with Paul, and a huge Tinder stun as well! And that's gonna be the fight, pretty much! It's the knockup there onto Strompus. They'll get Stumpy's ulti. Strompus trying to kite his way out, but he's getting chased down by two people. Stumpy forced to flash away, almost got slowed by Soligo. And Lin, for all the misfired engages, that one rang very true. As Mountain will take down the Nexus turrets. They'll finish off the Nexus and push us to a third and final game here for the Scouting Grounds Finals.
And you can see Fragus looked like he was ready to go. He's like, let's go to game 3, kind of wipe the slate clean. Game 1, a bit of a misstep for them, especially in that mid game with the Baron when they were ahead. But both early games have gone the way of Mountain, pretty decidedly, I would say. And then it's the later parts of the game where things get a bit rocky, and it looks like Infernal have, like, I would say, slower macro, but Mountain are taking more risks.
Yes, they take quite a few risks, and I think that's why they ran into so many problem spots. I think this game they probably got told, hey guys, just calm it down a little bit more, be clear about your communication, like don't overreach for things you don't need to do objective-wise. And I think they're still playing with a lot of like skill and general talent that's got them those advantages, but they're, you know, not hard forcing it Baron and maybe getting it stolen / everyone killed.
Yeah, and it's a situation where if you are constantly generating small leads, there's no reason to go for a larger risk if you're just going to keep generating that amount of lead. So it's like, why would you risk going here or here and end up in the bottom spot when you could have just had this smooth curve and been like, oh, we're just kind of building on our advantage from the early game? Because when they win the early game like that, it's really coming up big for them. And I have to say, like, the two kind of sore spots in that game were call Lin's engages early, but also Sir Kenji had really bad positioning in the jungle, was caught so many times in that game, mid, early, and late.
Well, we'll get a deeper dive there for how Mountain tied up the series. With that, we are going to hand it off to Freak and the analysts.
Thank you very much, Pastry Time. So tied up in the series, not the two that we had in the prior one here, and this is exciting. I mean, these teams had traded series in the group stage. They were pretty close games overall, so we get to see a game 3 here, and this is Mountain making a good comeback.
And I'm excited to see what happens in the top lane moving forward, because the first game was the victor show a little bit for Misty Stumpy. This time, despite having some bigger plays in some of the early skirmishes and team fights, he was still down a ton of CS to Fate God, and then Fate God was able to make his own plays later in the game. So I like this kind of battle that's going on in the top lane.
Yeah, it was like as one-sided as game 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I also like, I think Solgo stepped up for this game. I think he played like really well, actually.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's the games are so hectic that I don't really know if there's like one point in the game. So much like going on.
Right. I mean, it's League, right? The game is complex. A lot of things are interconnected. It started out with certainly some mistakes out of the mid lane, right? Like it was the mid and jungle where you had Sir Kenji come in and he was invading in the jungle near lanes where his lane was not winning. He's invading next to a Syndra who has push.
Priority.
Yeah, right.
He did not have priority.
That's the phrase, right? Is you can only invade near lanes that have priority. Lanes that can move first, lanes that can help you when you go for these fights.
And even if you have it in one lane, like the other lane can move too. So the first time he died, like, yeah, the Aurelia had to shove a little bit on the Syndra, but then the Urgot was able to wrap
Yeah, because you're
around.
going to their jungle, so it's closer to their base. So it's just priority 101 stuff, you know?
Yeah. And of course, we
look at.
Right. So they go capitalize on that, right? Got gigantic. That Syndra popped off, was massive, was like on a 8-stack Dark Seal plus 4 completed items, like 3rd item death cap. It was like one-shotting people at the middle of this game. So was doing some good things. A replay I want to pull up though was a smart play in the mid lane from Duo King. As a setup, Syndra ult's already down here, and I actually really like this because he gets the Black Shot off to block stun just in time, and then is able to dodge the rest of the skill shots, gets away from the feathers, and is able to set up the team to like start what could have been an Infernal comeback, but obviously wasn't enough.
Also, the Morgana ult sticks to the Xayah even as she ults, like it's a tether. So even as Xayah ults, she still gets stunned when she lands. So it was like no hesitation. The guy just went in and just flashed. It was really nice.
Yep. But otherwise though, it was better plays from almost everyone else. That ultimately, right? It feels like Mountain have all their players are kind of ready to fire when they need to. Like they feel more well-rounded.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a game back and forth because Prismal had a bunch of misplays as well where he was flashing in straight lines and things like that, as you heard Zyrene call out. And skirmishes did have a number of plays that worked out for him as well. He actually had the most kills throughout the early game on his team, even though we were kind of saying he was struggling with some of these priority problems. And the Aatrox spike getting blasted in lane often showed up for these fights first. What eventually happened was as these fights went more and more in the favor of Team Mountain Drake, they also start picking up objectives, so they get things like Baron buff. And even though this ends up being a bit of a wipe, it's after they've already gotten Baron buff. So a huge play here by Tactical flashing in, able to trade back a bunch. They cut out the little Benny Hill chase at the
unofficial quadra at the end.
Yeah, and then finally they get this one really clean engage, 3-man knockup into 3-man stun and W from Syndra, and then even, the Xayah flashing in as well.
Yeah, ultimately, closing it out. They held on to the gold lead for most of the time. You can see this one certainly close-ish for the first 20 or so, but once they actually got control this time around, Mountain did not lose control compared to last game, where they had this kind of a lead and then, threw it back out of Baron.
It was still close, though, because like we said, that one replay ended up with an unofficial quadra, I believe, for the Ashe. That was after the team already got Baron buff, so there's still a lot of things that Mountain Drake can look to clean up moving forward, because it does feel like they're the better early game team after getting the advantages in gold leads in 2 games in a row.
Yeah, it seems like it stems from Fragus as well. I mean, not to discredit skirmishes. I mean, he does do a good play, but then it's like, okay, he resets, goes on the map. It's like, okay, why he just randomly died? I think Fragus is like consistently getting them early leads. I think it was like that in the games that were played earlier, like early in the week. Yeah. So, I mean, if they do this again, I would expect Mountain to win, but you never know. It's Scouting Grounds games, so.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, high variance games. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking it's Mountain as well. Like you said, Fragus being a lot more consistent than skirmishes. I think Soligo has looked the better of the 2 mids both games. Had some oopsies in the last game, but actually still had a pretty good KDA, all things considered. We all remember the flash forward at the end that lost them the game, but until that point, he was playing pretty well. So the mid-jungle duo is what the problem is. I like that the top matchup is a little back and forth, seems a little pick dependent. Bot lane, Duo King had a much better game this time on the Morgana, didn't get killed right away, which when you're Soraka and you die the first time pre-5 minutes, it kind of keeps happening more often than not. So I think those 2 parts are a little bit in flux, but it's just the mid-jungle duo.
Yeah, did hear Infernal has chosen to play red side for the final game of Scouting Grounds overall, and I do want to see what else players can show. It's going to be, again, the last game of Scouting Grounds is your last chance to make an impression, to see if a team wants to talk to you, schedule scrims, look for you in the offseason. So, I want to see any players who have been like 1-tricking or 2-tricking branch out and say, look, I can play other styles as well, and kind of show a bit more breadth. We'll see if that happens. Either way, the teams are all tied up, and we'll see who wins Game 3 of Mountain versus Infernal after the break.
Nasakendi with no flash, he's left for dead here. Who's gonna grab the kill? Spoils go to Syndra. Chainsaw Lash, but here's the rest of the squad. Misty Stumpy plus the flash. Now Strumpus is the one they're going for. Vanguard dead popped up, but he grabs the knock up there from the Battle Dance, and Strumpus is dead. Strumpus gonna dive in, but he just dives straight up to the Syndra, who is somehow gonna live despite the Ignite. Stumpy, though, able to kill Prismal, now diving in onto Fragus, who gets pulled back and killed.
Rakan. You're good, Tactical. I'm gonna build you.
I'm an ult. I'm behind. I got a good ult.
I can slow him. I'm going on here.
Help me. I need help.
You're good.
Go,
I feel.
Strumpus though getting low. Prismal trying to get aggressive. Pops the Featherstone. But the stasis is really nice. A double kill though for the Syndra. Gonna fall pretty quickly. Ooh, a good 3-man knockup there. And a huge Syndra stun as well. And that's gonna be the fight. Mountain will finish off the Nexus and push us to a 3rd and final game here